Andrew Tate.
Yes.
I feel like he's been quite helpful for women as well. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I'm a fan of Andrew. I've got no qualms with Andrew. But here's the thing. It's you're taking a very hyper successful man with a hyper pleasure-seeking environment, and him giving his perspective to the average Jimmy in his basement, it just doesn't work. And as much as I love him and I understand his message and it really appeals to the people I know, I'm talking from a perspective of a girl that could be, you know, what they talk about, like, oh, you can, you know, get a dinner for free or you could go on a yacht and blah, blah. So I get what he's saying, but the majority of the world doesn't get that. And so that's why I feel like sometimes it's falling onto the hands of the wrong audience.
But like, I feel like because I think growing up in the culture and the background that I have, you kind of know like what you have to do as a woman. Like I'm sure.
Yeah, but a lot of people. That's true. I think I know what you were going to say.
Like,
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, when guests come, make coffee, tea.
Yeah.
When there's people here, you know, we're
hospitality. Yeah.
We know how to do it. But I feel like he's helped a lot of women understand. Their place in some sense.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if
and he really does. And the thing is, this is a problem that happens with the men that follow him, is that they take on board what he says about masculinity and forget what he tells men about how to be chivalrous and how to treat women. They just ignore that part and they focus on the fact that I can sleep with lots of women and I don't need to do this and men are this, blah, blah. So they take it wrong. But his actual message is actually a healthy one. On the whole, there are things that I disagree with, but on the whole, it's a healthy message. And but it's men are being very selective with what they're taking on board, and women are being very selective by what they're offended by. And both of them are being very polarized. But if you take his overall message, there's a lot of good in there.
Yeah, I think so too. It's such a shame that the media took it out of context.
Yeah.
And I actually feel like because I've met a lot of young guys, actually my team, they absolutely love Andrew Tate.
Oh, everybody loves Andrew Tate.
The younger
does. I did an interview with him and I remember having like cousins in Pakistan who are so young and were so excited about it. And I'm like, how did Andrew Tate be? You're like all excited. And I'm like, how do you know him? And everybody knows him. I think even my dad might even know who he is. And for my dad to know someone, then you must be super famous because he doesn't know anyone. So he's it's incredible how one person can have such an influence though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Even like my nephews and stuff, like that they'll say something which is like quite soft.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you just need to listen to Andrew Tate.
And was there anything that you disagree with?
Like,
from a female's perspective.
I just think he was like, when you're in the social media space, a lot of the stuff is for clout. Like he was doing it was all an act, and you can kind of tell like a lot of it was an act. The only thing that I think was bad about him is his tonality and how he said stuff. Because if you've not watched his long form stuff, you actually think the guy's being deadly serious. And that's the only thing I'd say. And if a girl's doing OnlyFans, you know, and it's his girlfriend, she has to give the money to him. I think that was just for like, I don't get it. What about you?
Well, having met Andrew, I don't think it's complete lie. It's something that he probably would do as a joke. I think he would definitely do that as a joke. But a lot of what he says, he is that person. He is that, alpha, charismatic. He is that guy. He is very opinionated. He is very strong. But I would love to, if inshallah he ever comes out, I would love to sit down and just dissect some of the things that I think are leading to relationships falling apart, because some of them do fall apart when they take on board what he says and they go down the...
Oh, as in being a high-value guy and dating multiple women.
Yeah, and that sort of stuff. The dating multiple women and this, that and the other, that sort of stuff. It doesn't lead to a conducive, happy home environment.